Makita cook. Get the sign.
Get the sign. Come back around there.
Come back around there.
Yes, these right here.
What you got? Chocolate chip. Them hot.
Straight out the oven.
Just for you. Appreciate you, baby.
Hey, what's up? This your boy Big Man. You already know what it is, man. So let's get right to it. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about young Dolph. Now, everybody knows about the tragedy that happened in Memphis this week, man. Sad to say, young Dolph, man, promising rapper, probably one of the most established and well-known rappers out of Memphis, at least currently in the scene, right? And he lost his life due to some senseless gun violence and some, I want to say it's probably some haters, man. I'm going to keep it real, man. But it's a sad situation for hip-hop. Everybody's been trying to figure out how things have gone down this road and how we got to this point. And the story has developed. Well, recently, the owners of the bakery that young Dolph frequented, called Makita's Bakery, where they sell cookies or whatnot, and young Dolph used to always be there. Well, they recently did an interview and just spoke out. They broke their silence. You know, everybody's been saying they've been quiet because due to the details that have come out, we found out that Dolph was actually in the establishment when he was shot and killed. Now, this is according to all the reports and the rumors out there, so I don't know that for sure, but it seems like that's the deal, man. Now, before we check out this interview that they did, and before we talk about some of the latest developments, do me a favor. Make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and man, let's get it. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, man, let's talk about this whole bakery situation and the owners coming out to talk about this whole shooting that took place at their establishment, man. You got to think about this, man. This whole young Dolph shooting is a tragedy in many ways, but it is definitely a ripple effect, man. It started with young Dolph being shot and killed, which is humongous, a terrible loss for Memphis, right? And then it trickles down to other people allegedly being shot and somebody's business actually being shot up, man. And the owners of that business, Makita's Bakery, have broken their silence and talked to the local news, Action 5 local news to be exact, and they had some things to say. So let's break this down in clips and talk about what they're saying. Now, let's check out the first portion of this clip during the interview with the owners. I believe this guy's name is Maurice Hill.
Maurice and Pamela Hill are not okay.
This kind of in a nightmare that we can't wake up from.
After their flagship bakery on Airways Boulevard became a murder scene, where longtime customer Adolph Young Dolph Thornton Jr. took his last breath.
Now, as you heard from the owners right there, he basically said this is a nightmare that they can't wake up from. I mean, imagine having your small business is actually popular, it actually does good. You know, I don't know their financials or whatever, but obviously based on the popularity of it, it seems like it might be doing well, right? They've got, you know, a thriving business, right? And then somebody as high profile as young Dolph or anybody at all gets shot and killed at that establishment. And now that's what it's known for. I mean, that's how I know the name. That's how anybody knows the name of this business, man. And I'm hoping that their business does not take a hit from this. I saw the pictures where it was boarded up, obviously so they can do an investigation because somebody lost their life in there. And it's a tragedy all around, man. So when those shooters took Dolph's life, man, they ruined so many other lives in the wake of that and created so much chaos. It's problematic, man. It's horrible, man. I'm going to keep it real. But let's continue with this next part of the clip and break that down. Hey, what's up? Before we hit this next clip, man, and break down this interview, do me a favor. Everybody, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We trying to push past the next milestone. And, man, make sure you hit that like button so we can spread the message and this video and this interview gets out. All right, peace.
As usual, family members were running the store just after noon Wednesday when Dolph drove up in his camo Corvette. He didn't ask for his usual chocolate chip cookies and ice cream.
Now, basically what we heard right there is a description of, you know, Dolph's just regular showing up to the store and getting his order. The problem is, man, and what's been a lot of debate about is Dolph and how he was moving, right? Not to even blame the victim here, even to think that this was Dolph's fault in some way. But, man, the fact that he had a camouflage sports car that everybody knew, it made it easy to pick him out, you know what I'm saying? And it made him it just wasn't as discreet as he probably should have been moving at the time, people are saying. Now, I don't agree with that because he should be free to go wherever he wants, especially in his own hood. But, man, let's check out this next clip because it's going to be some sweeping revelation, we'll say here.
Dolph and another young man stood in the left corner of the store on their cell phones and never saw it coming. Maurice drove up to see his workers raising their heads from ducking bullets and the young man.
He was just distraught. He was hysterical. He was punching on the window, and because I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know there was a body laying there, and I thought, matter of fact, I thought he had shot the place up himself.
Now, this is where, that argument begins about, young Dolph and his homeboy, man. Now, young Dolph was actually with somebody. And when the owner is describing somebody punching the window and acting crazy, obviously that's Dolph's homeboy because Dolph is the one who's lying there dead that he explains. So, man, let me just play that one more time so you guys can get the grasp of what he said there because he just revealed a lot, man. So basically, Dolph's homeboy was in the restaurant wilding out while Dolph was laying on the ground dying or was already dead.
He was just distraught. He was hysterical. He was punching on the window, and because I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know there was a body laying there, and I thought, matter of fact, I thought he had shot the place up himself.
Now, as you heard right there, the owner came out from the back and saw that his workers were basically just getting up from ducking from all the shots. He's trying to see what went down, what was going on, and he sees a young man there distraught, basically beating on the window, yelling or whatnot, and obviously this is Dolph's homeboy who's upset. Now, I'm assuming this is a guy that's in the photo of the person who's shooting back at the shooters when they're driving away. There's a picture of the guy right here in all black, and he's basically shooting at the guys who shot up the Makita's bakery and is shooting back, as they're driving away and speeding off while they're in the white Mercedes. And that's got to be Dolph's homeboy. Now, what's crazy is nobody has stepped forward and said that was them or who it was. And it's hard to assume who it was because as he's running with the gun, he's as covered up as the shooters were. I mean, he's got on a black hoodie, just black pants, and it just, all you see is that back profile, and that is it, man. Now, the interview ends with them saying some things about, Dolph and how closely related they felt to him, the fact that the owner's wife, the wife who's also the co-owner, her and Dolph shared the same birthday and all that, man. So it's weird, and they're all entrepreneurs. They just felt bad about the situation. And when you hear this story of how the bakery got its name, it's a tragedy. So what I'm hoping in this situation is everybody who used to go to that bakery or the people who used to frequent it, once they open back up, we'll go back to the establishment, man. Might as well invest in the small business and help these folks out because they didn't bring on this tragedy. This tragedy brought itself on, man. You'd hate for them to have to take a financial hit or for their business to take a fold just because of this situation. Now, also in the news story that was associated with this, they said that they had like a GoFundMe or something like that. So they're trying to get things back in motion and back up, obviously. And all of this was brought on through no fault of their own, man. So I'm hoping that, their business picks back up and they get things back in motion. But right now, it looks like they're just trying to get money up so that they can repair the building, man. So horrible, man, horrible. And it seems like they ended on that note and also wanted to give a message that hopefully people looking at this situation and just taking from it the big loss of losing young Dolph in the community and how they should end the violence. So, man, touching story, man. To be real, man, all things involved. I'll probably post a link. I will post a link to the whole story in the description of this video. But, man, what do you guys think about this, man? What do you think about the fact that the owner was able to, to come out and see that young Dolph's homeboy was going wild in the store, basically distraught over the fact that they just lost Dolph. This was a major hit to their team, to their friendship and all that, man. So horrible, man, like I said. And as the story starts to develop and more clues and more information comes out, I'm going to be right on top of it. So with that, do me a favor. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And make sure you hit that notification bell so that way you get a notification every time I drop this hot content. And we out of here. Peace.